Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Ask Me Anything. It's pretty simple. I'll be answering questions from the thousands of athletes that follow our daily programming. If you have a question or topic you want submitted, go to garagegymathlete.com/AMA. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Another
day,
question?
another Killing Comfort book. There.
Another one?
It's on the screen. If you're listening, yeah, go to killingcomfort.com, buy a book, and kill some comfort. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Can't plug your own stuff. You gotta be talking AMA. So we are doing an AMA. So garagegymathlete.com/AMA if you want to ask a question. A lot of people have been submitting questions, which is cool. And the reason I think it's cool is because we don't link to this anywhere. There's not a place that you can find this on the website. If you're like, I listen to the podcast, I can't remember, maybe I'll just go to garagegymathlete.com and find it. You won't find it. We hide it. So the only way for people to submit a question is to actually go type that URL in with the slash and the AMA and get there. And you guys are doing it. And I think it's awesome. So I really appreciate you submitting the questions. If you do have a question, anything you'd like to be covered, some of these things that we have been pulled or asked, we're like, oh, that's going to be better for like a full-on study that we cover on the Monday episodes. So even no matter how big your question is, just submit it or how small it is, submit it and we'll get to it. But thank you guys for everyone who has submitted. Let's get to today's. It's from Kimberly H. She says, how important is it to stick to the recommended weight percentages during training? For example, this past week, the deadlift and front squat were programmed from the 75 to 85% rep max ranges. However, I feel like I have gotten way stronger since I performed the 1 rep max, and those ranges were relatively easy. Can I bump it up? Would bumping it up help me to achieve larger gains the next time I test the 1 rep max? Or is it more important for me to stay within the prescribed range? And I honestly could go both ways on this one. So maybe I'll talk about that. But Joe, I want to hear what you have to say first.
So I thought of a couple things on this, but one of them that came to mind was, so I at first I didn't realize they would be going for the higher, but a lot of people have a problem on the lower end as well, to where the recommended weight that we want them to lift feel like a struggle or a burden. And when we do tempo lifting, that's why we typically don't do percentages with tempo lifting, because it's the intent of so hitting a tempo is better than hitting a certain weight. And same could be said for, some of the lower percentages, 75%. If it's called for 5 reps and you felt like you can do 9, 10, 11, well, maybe it's because we wanted you to move the weight fast. So it's not always about, okay, keep lifting the max amount of weight for the reps given. It's the intent of what the rep scheme that we want you to do. So whether it's a slower tempo, an explosive lift, moving faster, recovering more, or, it's all the programming, everything's being calculated what you're lifting anyway. So you also might be getting accessory work somewhere else as well. So there's a lot of factors that will go into it. So I would say to make sure, if your max is fairly recent, then you're fine. But if you haven't maxed out in like 6 months, then that's a different thing. But I would say it's usually due to the intent. And if you're feeling stronger, usually those are the times when I'm hitting these percentages and I'm feeling great, then I'm like, okay, I can't wait for Fit Week so that I can max out again, because I think I'm going to smash a PR.
Yeah. So I just recently did a video called the PR Squeeze. You can find it on our YouTube channel. It wasn't published as a podcast. So if you are only listening to the podcast, maybe go to the YouTube channel and check it out, where I talk about kind of this principle. So like I said, I could kind of go both ways. So what we did in the BCT track, or how I programmed it, is we did an aggressive first 4 weeks, a lot of volume, heavy weight. And then immediately at the end of the 4th week, we retested our back squats. And I explained in that video, the reason I did that is because I want to quickly adjust any you know, when you first start a new program, there are going to be some rapid adaptations, and I want to adjust for those adaptations as quick as I can. So you're operating off of a more accurate max. So you are seeing a little bit more benefit when I'm telling you to do this many sets, this many reps at this percentage. You are going to see more benefit if your 1 rep max is accurate. Now, you're not on the BCT track, so you didn't do this crazy amount of volume in 4 weeks. So my answer to this would be, it kind of depends on where you're at in the cycle. If you're feeling this way at like week 8 or 9, that's awesome. Just hold off until we test at the end of the 12 weeks. If you're feeling that way, I'd say between weeks 3 and 5, then I would absolutely just retest. You know, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. I would just be like, if we hit 85% on the back squat that day and your second or third set feels just easy, I might just take it up, like kind of go off the path here, go off the programming and test your 1 rep max if you are that confident that it's gone up a significant amount. Because if you are thinking like a 5-pound PR, that's not, if you just do the math, it's not going to be that big of a deal in the calculations at 80%. But if we're talking like we did on the BCT track, where some people hit a 40-pound PR, that's a significant difference in calculating your 1 rep max when you're lifting. So it's very important to keep those things updated. So hopefully I kind of gave you some parameters on updating your max and when you should test. We don't like to test or program it more than every 12 weeks. And a lot of our athletes don't even test every max every 12 weeks. They kind of maybe will skip a cycle here and there. But if you're feeling strong, depending on where it is in the cycle, retest or wait and just crush it during fit week.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. Well, thanks for the question. If you guys do have any questions, go to garagegymathlete.com/AMA, submit your question, and we will get to it. If you're listening to the podcast, please 5-star review, positive comment. We just passed 400 the last time I checked. And if we could get more reviews and ratings, that would be phenomenal, because it's not something we focus on a lot, but it is something that can really help the show out and reach more people. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of cool stuff coming out. We've just been publishing a lot more YouTube content. So you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure that you get notified about that. Leave us some comments, what you like, what you don't like, and thumbs up. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for listening or watching. I hope you enjoyed today's Ask Me Anything episode. So one more time, if you want to submit a question, topic, or idea, you can do so at garagegymathlete.com/AMA. And hey, while you're there, if you haven't already, sign up for Garage Gym Athlete membership. We are the best community and programming on the internet. I dare you to try and prove me wrong.